Today we're going to be talking about artículos, or articles. These are really small words like the, a, and, some in English. In English, we just put them in front of the nouns as needed. In Spanish, something extra has to happen. The words must match in gender, masculine or feminine. So you've already learned the two of the definite articles for the, el and la. We talked about that masculine nouns are losers, Loserz. If a word ends in those letters, it is most likely masculine. Feminine nouns typically end in A. They also have a few other special endings, CION, TAD, DAD. Those endings are almost always feminine. But the most common that you will see is O and A. We'll learn the plurals in another chapter. There are also things called indefinite articles. A and an when it's singular. So a book, an apple. In English, whether we use a or an depends on what the next word starts with. If it starts with a consonant, we use a book. If it starts with a vowel, we use an apple. In Spanish, it's not based on what it starts with, but whether or not that noun is masculine or feminine. So what it ends with. If it's masculine, you would use un. If it was feminine, you would use una. You'll never have el and un right next to each other. We wouldn't say the a book. We're either talking about the book, a specific one, that one over there definitely. That's why it's called the definite article. Or a book. I'm not sure which book, I just need a book. That's why it's called the indefinite article, because it's indefinite. We don't know which one it is. We just need a book or an apple. Or I'm going to eat the apple, la manzana. The apple that's right here, this one. I'm definitely going to eat it. I want to eat an apple. I don't know which one. So indefinite. As far as the definite and indefinite matters, it really doesn't matter all that much as far as knowing which one is which. It is more important that you realize that it has to be masculine or feminine, and that you're never going to have a definite article right next to an indefinite article. It's either one or the other. So you just have to ask yourself, does the make sense in my sentence, or does a or an make better sense? So, as we just discussed, and as we discussed back in the intro chapter, nouns that are masculine tend to end in Loserz. So masculine nouns are losers. Guys, I know I keep saying that, and it's probably annoying for the gentlemen in class. You will get your payback eventually, I promise you. So as we look at these, decide if each word is masculine or feminine. Pause the video and then check your answers. You should have año is masculine, it ends in O. Semana is feminine, it ends in A. Libro is masculine, hoja is feminine, carpeta is feminine, and profesor is masculine. It is a little interesting to know anything that ends in OR typically refers to a male, and if you add an A to that, so like profesora, it changes it to female. In part B here, it's the exact same words. Now that you know which ones are masculine and which ones are feminine, you should be able to quickly tell if you need el or la. Masculine words need el, feminine words need la. Pause your video, circle the appropriate answers, and then check. You should have el, la, and el, based on masculine and feminine. The same thing happens if we're going to use un or una, and we're talking about a notebook or a friend or a magazine. You still need to know masculine or feminine. So in part C, write M for masculine, F for feminine. Pause the video, then check your answers. You should have masculine, masculine, feminine, 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 masculine. Anything that ends in O is typically masculine. Anything that ends in A is typically feminine. Again, part D, same words as part C, circle un or una appropriately. Pause the video, then restart to check your answers. You should have un, una, una, and un. Un cuaderno, un amigo, una revista, una familia, una bicicleta, un cuento. Okay, the last activity, we have to decide if it's el or la. Sometimes there are words right after the el or la that we can't really tell if it's masculine or feminine, but something else in the sentence will tell us. So if we look at number 1, el or la estudiante. Well, estudiante means student. It could be a boy student or a girl student. But if we keep going, es estudiosa. The student is studious. Estudiosa indicates that we're talking about a female student. So it should be la. Go ahead and go through the next few examples, pause the video, and then restart to check your answers. You should have la profesora es buena. Profesora and buena, both are feminine, so we're talking about a female teacher. Un amigo es simpático. Amigo and simpático both end in O, indicating we are talking about a male. Number 4, una estudiante es atrevida. Atrevida ends in an A, so it indicates we're talking about a female. El profesor es trabajador. Profesor and trabajador are both masculine, so we're talking about a male. Un estudiante es artístico. Estudiante could be either, but artístico indicates we're talking about a male. 7, la amiga es inteligente. Inteligente could be describing a male or a female, but amiga ends in A, so we know we're talking about a female friend. And the last one, una estudiante es reservada. Again, estudiante could be male or female, but reservada ends in A, so it indicates that we're talking about a female. So definitely check for O's and A's specifically to decide if it is masculine or feminine. Most words will end in one of those two letters.